Get themselves on some comfort, because we haven't really talked about the side of Liquid. You're one game away from going to TI. So what sort of conversations would you be having coming into this draft, especially with Virtus.pro having first pick?
Oh, I mean, for Liquid, I think it's quite chill. You know, they're being chilling, they're owning, they're feeling good. I think they're kind of in the zone. They're probably telling themselves, yo, we all know that, you know, that VP kind of are not feeling it right now, that they don't feel good. So I think in terms of that, you keep up the same thing as you have been doing, and then towards the end, you still want to make sure that you stay focused and you think about, okay, if we were Virtus.pro, what would they do different now? Because the pick order is once again the same, and I don't see Virtus.pro going into this game doing the same thing as they did in game 1. I would still advise them, if I was with them, I would tell them, yo, leave the Shadow Fiend. We first pick a hero and then we go Lina later. Whatever, they still take out the Shadow Fiend. I would still tell them, let's take the Lina later. But, you know, I'm not with them. I'm not their coach. It's not my obligation. But that's what I would want them to do.
It's always nice to know.
Yeah.
What
can you do?
Yeah, what WCYD? With Team and Liquid having to think about their ban here. Do you feel like you have any insight?
Thinking Undying, probably, if they want to take a repeat from last game. There we go. I don't think that was anything special there. But I like the idea that Virtus.pro decides to take the Clockwork away from Liquid, as they went for the Primal Beast first pick, and Liquid responded with the Clockwork. Do we go vice versa this time? I don't think we're going to be going that route. Looking at some of the first phase picks that Liquid has been favoring, I mean, you could look at the Snapfires, Tinies. They've also wait, let me just double check I have the right tab open. Yes, I do. with the Snapfires and the Tinies. But they're going to continue with Insania's Disruptor, smart choice, and a hero that they've had a lot of success with lately. And in general, this tournament has had a lot of success lately with the Tusk pick.
A two-sport hero opening there, Kezu.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, I think, coming out for Liquid. They've honestly had a lot of success from 6-7, from like this pick order to just open up with their two supports. And then later on, they just seem to find very good openings in the second phase later to then like complement what's going on here. And now for Virtus.pro, you had a similar opening last game from Liquid, and then they picked Visage. I feel like, yeah, the pick would be good, but you just had it and it felt bad. So I would kind of like them to swap, like, you know, sway away from it. These two heroes from Liquid, they're quite aggressive early on, so this could also make you not want to pick Lina, so they just go man-up mode, and they pick the Ramsey's win condition on the Morphling.
How are you feeling about this Morphling, Fear? Do you have some confidence in it?
This Morphling has a 33% win rate in the hands of Ramses this tournament, so do I feel good about it? Normally, I would say yes, but with a stat line like that, it's kind of hard. The Disruptor has been proven to be pretty good versus the Morphling. Not going to count it out yet, but this is just not a winning hero for Virtus.pro so far in this tournament.
It is a winning hero against the heroes that VP played last game. Basically, what we saw, there were the Clockworks, the Visage. Also, there was a Witch Doctor in that game, and that was Liquid winning over the Morphling. So I wonder if they're shifting things up and going for some kind of counter-psychology gameplay here with it. Probably not. But, I mean, Morphling's been a strong hero in the tournament, yes. And like you said, 33%, 1 win and 2 losses on this Morphling doesn't necessarily talk a lot of confidence, but it's also a pretty small pool. But then again, this is a pretty short tournament, so I guess you could pull off a good Morphling game, but it's too early to say.
The band's coming out because obviously that AA to protect the Morph, but it's the Lone Druid. Do you think they are targeting Martu a little bit here? Is he the person you would want to target in a draft?
You probably have to target too many heroes, but just taking out the Lone, I think, is good comfort, just to take it away from Liquid. The only problem I see with the opening from VP against what Liquid have is that they probably feel like that they need to ban a lot of heroes in this stage right now. I feel like you have to ban this AA. Lone Druid is a little bit debatable. I think next phase there's a lot of scary heroes that Liquid can pick up. There's the Visage that they like with these heroes against the Morphling. There's also a Tidehunter that can be very good in the next phase. There's a Pangolier once again that can be good. And most importantly, also Lycan later down the road. So I feel like right now, this ban stage is very hard for Virtus.pro. And I would also like to point out that I've seen, this might be the first time I see FNG have more of like a active role on the camera. From what I can see, he's taken over Ramsey's chair. So, you know, maybe in the pause, he came up with some good things to say to maybe let them focus more on their gameplay and him to take over a bit more of the drafting role.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what changes happen then.
Sorry, can you repeat?
I just said it'd be interesting to see what changes happen. And I was going to ask Fia what he was thinking about these bans, more on the side of Liquid then.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, they banned the Primal Beast. There was kind of like a little dance. They first picked the Clockwork, being like, I dare you to pick Primal Beast. They're like, yeah, nah. And then they picked the Morph, and it seems like Liquid is still afraid of the Primal Beast, regardless of having the Clockwork and the Morphling on their team. They ban it out. Straight into a GPK ban, the Invoker, and one of his top 4 heroes he's played this tournament. They have left the Lina, though, which is another one we're going to keep an eye on. But we'll see with this ban here if they do want to leave that one in there, or if they plan on banning something else out. I'm not sure why they banned Invoker, if not just to target GPK, because to me it doesn't seem like a hero that really threatens the 2 heroes I see that Liquid already has, but maybe Liquid have a hero in mind they want to pick in the next phase that Invoker is very good against.
Yeah, I guess it could also be like a team-specific thing that we don't like playing against this hero necessarily. Obviously, they've played a lot of Invoker matchups in the past, but they've, in the second phase, they've banned Invoker twice and they've won the game, both of those games, as a result of that. So, could be something that leads into it. Mostly, they've been banning the Beastmaster, and they add up the Tidehunter here as well. So, taking a bit of team play capability from VP there.
Lycan's coming, I think.
Yeah.
Or the
it's
Beast,
just
I guess.
a high chance. Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of the Invoker ban, the only hero I was thinking about that it could like indicate that you might want is like the potential Darkseer. Otherwise, yeah, I think Fear is right that they're just kind of targeting DPK, and now they ban out the Tidehunter, which was going to be very good against, you know, one of the many Zoo heroes Liquid could go for. And they seem to favor the Beastmaster more compared to some other teams, and yeah, it just gives them what they want. It's going to set up later to then also make your carry pick feel better. And I mean, they have shown they're really, really good when Zai gets his hands on his Beastmaster.
One thing that I'm now kind of curious about here is with this Beastmaster pickup is a physical damage carry that will utilize the attack speed bonus. And now when you see the Morphling, I'm starting to think Slark here for Matumba Man. But do you want to... I don't think they might necessarily pick it here. They could still leave it for the last phase as well. But I'm kind of feeling Slark here.
Definitely good carry matchup, but as for drafting their carry, they want to see their lane matchup first if they can. Slark isn't a hero that can just play into any matchup, so he definitely needs to see something good before you can pick him. And I think if you don't have a lane, you're not going to counter anything, right? So they'll wait to see what a VP is going to pick for their offlaner, and then they'll choose the best hero possible that can deal with the morph and also have a decent laning stage.
Just thinking of the aspect of the BKB Lincoln's build that we've seen on Slarks. If you're like Virtus.pro, for example, if they don't have any BKB piercing abilities, then that could sit in nicely. But yeah, you're right. You kind of have to wait for VP to make a decision first. And they only got like half a minute left on reserve, so you can see that they're really thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, for them, when I see Beastmaster like this with a tempo draft, I want to address this Beast right now, have a hero that can potentially go there later. I would have said that I would have liked them to potentially pick like a Storm mid or anything mid that can rotate to this lane, as now they go for Dazzle Chaos Knight, which is a big curveball. I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe they want to flex these heroes, CK Dazzle. I'm guessing maybe or morph into mid and they'll keep it open for later, but I'm taken a little bit by surprise for now.
Speaking of 33% win rate carries, CK is also on that list with the Morphling, both combined into the same draft, which means he can't play both of them, which means something is brewing here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even the Dazzle is on 33% win rate here at the last chance qualifiers, so...
Yeah, hasn't been picked by VP at all, so that's also like a unique hero here.
But that hero is, I remember Hakoda is a legendary Dazzle player. I think in the DPC, he was probably one of the first players to bust Dazzle out before like everyone got on board and be like, wow, Dazzle's so good last patch. So he is very capable on the Dazzle, and I think he's like either Master Tier or Platinum on Dazzle, which is very rare. You don't see that very much. Not many Dazzle spammers out there, as the hero has been dead for a long time. But he is a very capable Dazzle player, so I do trust him with this hero quite a lot.
5 seconds remaining.
We actually haven't been able to see it ourselves, but how do you feel Dazzle is with this patch and also the lineup?
Well,
I think, sorry, I
go
think
ahead.
with the CK, it's pretty good, right? Because like you have the heal bomb with illusions, pretty decent here. They can use the poison, maybe track down the boars, or just go straight onto the Beastmaster. I do think they're going to put this Morphling probably in the mid lane. And now that I think more about it, because GPK, he's more of like a carry type of mid player. Not saying he can't play the other heroes, but that's where VP in particular seemed to shine the most. And now the CK, it's very good versus the Beastmaster in the lane, so that is the adaptation they are going to make. And it looks like they're going to try and punish this Morph pick by putting Queen of Pain. I'm not sure if that will be the most punishing thing for Morphling. I think Morph is pretty strong with the attribute shift. He might not care so much about the dagger spam, but not a matchup I'm super familiar with.
Yeah, so they decided to, instead of answering the Beastmaster with like someone else being able to rotate to the lane, to just pick a completely new safe lane, which, yeah, that can work. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan when you do the switch up and it now means that your carry Morphling is going to the mid lane, because I feel like these four heroes, I mean, it is somewhat of a Virtus.pro style. Win lane, outskill your opponent, and then, you know, try to go and fight your enemies. Because when I look right now, Virtus.pro's teamfight is not very good. And this is what you need to get out of your offlaner, but you're also doing this blindly into the enemy team, which is, you know, it's not always the easiest task to really ask here.
When the Queen of Pain and CK were at the same draft at the same time, Liquid played co-op. Mickey went 14-2 and 14 against VP's Ramses CK 2-10 and 7. That was again a rough game for Ramses. Maybe he's figured something out this time. They bring up the Timber Saw.
I have a high suspicion that there's going to be an aggro trialing from VP and Timber versus the Beastmaster here. If not, they're just going to try and pressure. I think if you're Liquid here, you're probably going to lose the outscale here. But if you win the laning stage, I think you're going to run over the game. So I would be a big fan of Liquid just picking a hero to just win lanes here.
How about Ursa? Or
I was thinking something more
Troll
spicy.
might be hard.
Not a lot of people play
Like
it, but
what?
like the carry Batrider.
Orc-champ?
Really,
Carry
just
Batrider.
really,
I like the way you're thinking.
Just really like crush the lanes here. You got the momentum. They're gonna go for the Luna though. Too spicy for them. I understand.
Yeah,
It is an
Luna's good.
elimination match.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I mean, Luna, maybe there's a little bit of PTSD coming out for Virtus.pro. They did drop to the lower bracket here after picking it up twice against Secret earlier today. But Liquid looking to get this pickup via how are you liking it all rounded out now?
This is a very hard. Like both drafts have like strengths and weaknesses. I unfortunately just don't know enough about this mid matchup. If GPK can pop up from this Morphling, it is a Morph after all, and it's Timbersaw. Normally Luna can do well, but I see Timber's just free farm versus Luna as well. It's going to come down to, it's like individual skill this game. It's not very clear cut to me on like who's going to win this game. It's going to be like who just plays better.
Yeah. Kezu, is that the same for you, individual skill, or a little bit more about how the teams are going to be rotating?
Well, individual skill for sure, because that's what Virtus.pro's drafts kind of thrives on and what they need. But when I look at their tricore, it makes me feel like bad inside. It kind of turns my stomach around. You have Morphling, Timber, CK. I don't see like how you ever rotate anyone to anyone. You just rely on GPK shitting on mid, DM doing his thing top, and then I just feel like we're gonna see the same thing. They do well early, then DM dies alone, someone else dies somewhere else, Ramses queues up a Midas, and they lose.
And quickly, T-Panda, who are you looking towards?
Well, it's either individual star power or a team that's going to qualify. So we'll see.
We will see as we're jumping into this game number 2. Remember, Liquid need this win if they want to go to TI. Same with VP. So let's jump on over. It's Dan Organaries.
Well, the question is, can the individual brilliance here from Virtus.pro enable them to go the distance and force us into a game 3, or can Liquid end it right here and right now? Denog, this is another lineup that Liquid can thrive on. A team that really like to play around the quick tempo, end the game early kind of strategies, and it looks like with the draft they have exactly that. But do we feel like Virtus.pro have some answers?
I think they've got some answers. I'm just worried that it might not be enough answers. And, well, we'll be able to see if GPK will be proven right. Will this series be over in 2 hours? And Liquid all the way through to the TI proper. They've been 1 series away, Liquid, from automatic TI qualification several times this year. They lost 2-1 to BetBoom at the Stockholm Major. If they won, they would have qualified. They lost to Boom 2-1 at the Arlington Major. They would have qualified. And they got so close in the regional qualifiers as well. So close, yet so far. Blitz has said that his anxiety during some of those series was a 40 out of 10. So let's see if they're able to do it this time around. Maybe 4th time's the charm.
See, 4th time is the charm indeed, and also for Virtus.pro, they've been so goddamn close. Some rounding errors and some difficult performances in some of the series that we saw. Also some previous events as well for Virtus.pro, in particular the major, where they were knocked out by Beast Coast in that 7th and 8th place. There was a team that was really starting to build up a lot of momentum over at Arlington. We saw at TI-10 as well, some of the members, GPK along with DM, were knocked out by their fellow brethren in Team Spirit in 5th and 6th place. So they want to get a little bit of revenge and make it back there. But, of course, that's a lot of games away. Potentially game 3 if they can get there. But they have their comfort. I mean, this is, in particular, if someone can do it, man. If someone can do it, DM on the Timber Saw. Like, he is arguably one of the best Timber Saws. Amar as well. I mean, Amar and DM, I'd say, really the ones you always look at. So we'll see what's going to come out. The panel also mentioned about the potential aggro tri-lane. It looks like that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, and they're just making sure to constantly wait until the very last second to be able to move. But with this Observer Ward scouting out DM's movement, is that going to cause some rotations? Yeah, you see instantly Zai on the minimap turns tail and runs all the way back towards the top side. They want to avoid this lane at all costs.
Yeah, when Boxy was TPing, he just caught a slight glimpse of DM running down bottom. So, yeah, Liquid have plenty of time to be able to react to this now.
Yeah, he ended up cancelling that TP. He wants to make sure that he's staying in this more preferable lane. Just while we are still waiting for the lanes to kind of form themselves. Hopefully there's not 2 kills in the meantime. I just want to give a shout out to Team Liquid and their YouTube page, because they actually put out this little bit of a... They call it the time lapse, where they look back on past series that they've played. And the one that I paid most attention to was one at TI-7, where Matu talked about their series against LFY, where they were able to take a tier 1 tower at 2 minutes, and the map was basically bare by 15 minutes for LFY, because they saw this morphling and they went a hyper-aggressive draft. They did it against Vici Gaming early on. They ended the game in 22 minutes. That's exactly what they've gone for this time around.
I mean, the Morphling has been someone who is incredibly contested overall through the meta at the moment, having a 61% win rate, but we've seen Liquid 2 games in a row now they've been able to beat it. Let's see if they can do it again with a different strategies. Top lane, some brawling going on at the moment. Yarmich and Yokoda posturing aggressively onto Boxy. This time it's going to be Yarmich on the clockwork as well. We mentioned prior in game 1 that he's incredibly comfortable on the hero. We saw Boxy make play after play. Well, Yarmich is going to look to replicate that.
Just having a quick look over at the couriers as well, coming down on this bottom side for Team Liquid. It's all about the regen, consistently being able to spam out this Timber Saw. Insania wants to make sure that Thunderstrike is maxed out. He's got the Ring of Basilius.
Zai might be in some trouble. Ramses has the level 2 already. Oh, the shards off the mark from Boxy. Tried to get some distance for Zai to play with. He's going to attempt to find the deny into the neutrals, but it will not be the case, as the Virtus.pro tri-lane off to a good start with finding first blood.
They are indeed, and that's what you have to do whenever you've got these tri-lanes, right? You're soaking up so much experience on the supports that if you don't get the kills in exchange, then you're going to be in a really rough spot once those lanes start to dissolve and you get to the mid game. So level 3 on bottom side is really what I'm looking for. They actually TP Insania up top, not wanting this lane to go too poorly for, again, the relatively quick lineup that they've got on Team Liquid. And they're going to find Yamich, 3v1, but he's essentially completely out of mana. So Yamich, he's just trying to keep them away for as long as possible, expending a lot of spells out of Team Liquid just to get a single kill.
See as well how this mid lane shaping up at the moment. Queen of Pain off to a pretty good start. Well, very good start, I should say. 20-7 compared to the 10-2. I think once the levels start to come through from GPK, the attribute shift might be able to help out. I think one of the big issues at the moment, though, is just the constant damage from the dagger forces GPK to not have as much right-click damage at the early levels to be able to CS. But once he hits that third point in the attribute shift, the lane should be more bearable.
Look at this little bit of a conga line coming through from the top-hand side as well. Boxy, Yamich, both realizing how important it is to be able to keep control over these power runes. Looks like Mikke is going to be the one to be able to claim the water rune on the bottom side, though, and it just means that GPK's got a rough time. You already have such a rough go at it, trying to trade effectively against a Queen of Pain. How are you supposed to do it now when he's got a water rune bottled and you've got nothing?
He's already got a Midas queued up as well from GPK.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, the panel was mentioning that they want to see GPK on or something that can be the win condition in a way. I mean, the Morphling is definitely that, but a Midas is really going to slow down Virtus.pro. I mean, where do the plays really come out for them? Feels like a lot of emphasis is going to be put on DM, just trying to soak up as much space as possible, being that kind of your vacuum to drag all the Liquid members down, but it's going to be difficult. He needs to get off to a good start.
I mean, how often do you see a Tempest go into a Vanguard as well? That's what DM's got. He realizes that he's going to be coming up against this Zuya, against a Tusk. He is going to be that one standing on the front lines, playing a lot less greedy style this time around, and basically putting himself where Liquid want to be pushing. You saw Liquid's bans. They got rid of the Tide Hunter, another DM specialty, just to make sure that they could allow this to happen.
Trying to face check. Yokota doesn't have a level in the grave at the moment. The heal bomb's not going to be enough to keep him alive as Liquid find their second kill of the game here in this tri-lane. As soon as they started to rotate, as soon as they left Insania and brought him up top, it looks like top is going much better for them.
0 points in the Whirling Death on DM. He's just looking to try and spam out onto Matu with those Timber Chains as much as possible. Try and keep him out of the lane, but Matu, he's still having a decent enough time. Trading in farm, you're going to be very happy with that if you're Liquid.
See, a nice snowball dodge, and he's going to use it aggressively to go into Yamich. They're trying to turn to beat down Ramses, but the tag team will expire. And Xayah doesn't have the axes to continue to stack up. So in the end, will be a 1-for-1. No supports are going to make the rotation here for the power rune, so it's going to come down. I'm more than likely Mikke will get it with his extra mobility. And I think this is a big advantage that Liquid are going to be playing with, a Morphling compared to the Queen of Pain. We saw GPK in game 1 try and get very active on the Primal Beast. Mikke did an exact same thing here with the Pain clear, but this game, like, GPK is just going to play the lane, whereas Mikke, he can look to get involved, and that's already going to be the case. This is a big rotation down. If you can slow DM early on, he's going to struggle.
Oh, he's getting a little bit greedy. He's gone for the dive here. Might end up costing him his life. He doesn't have the mana. Even if he pops the wand, he's not going to be able to TP out. So what a key kill just to secure this lane for Matu.
They're going to get something out of the map here in Virtus.pro. They're going to make the attempt top lane. Diving onto the tier 1 tower. Can they close the distance onto Xayah? And that'll be the case. The Chaos Spot chucked out from Ramses will allow Yamich to get into the middle. But remember, Tumberman's going to look to TP. He's got the level 6 now. They need to deal with the creep, so the Clip's going to be able to help out. Instead, the right clicks are what they're playing off the back of. Insania, Glimpse is available, level 2, they're going to be able to drag back the Clockwork. A beam from afar is not enough, that's where Insania's right clicks can come into play. Ramses will be able to trade the life of the Disruptor in the end, so a double kill picked up for the Chaos Knight.
He's just got the 1 point in the Lucid Beam as well. Oh, that's
DM,
not good.
Not at all. DM with the level 6, Matumberman, they know he TP top. And he's going to be off the map now for 25 seconds, plus the time he has to walk to the lane as well. A great movement coming out from DM.
Yeah, VP just mirroring a lot of these movements, right? Matu comes top, so am I. I'm very happy to look to trade against that, and like you mentioned before, had to use the TP for it, so Matu will be taking that walk of shame. Potentially going back into the jungle. Liquid believe they're starting to consider making a few of these stacks happen, playing on the dire side.
See if GPK is going to get lucky with the power rune. Ooh. Boxy will snag that. They don't have the ultimate to be able to try and blow him up. They will continue to hunt though.
10
they know
seconds
the
till
waveform's used. Yamich is playing on the right. There's not particularly much that Clockwork can do, and GPK is just standing still. Trying to hope for the deny onto the neutrals, but it will not come out as Mike times his right click to perfection. As Liquid shotting down the Morphling earlier, they're going to look to continue to go bottom as Ramsey's now... Here's the next one that's in trouble. A perfectly placed shard from Boxy will lock off the Chaos Knight. They've got the Hawk in the tree line, so they then know that no one is playing behind Ramses to potentially turn it around with the rotations, as now Liquid can look to take the first tier 1 tower of themselves.
Indeed, indeed. DM, it feels like he's playing the exact same job on the top side. He's finished up the Vanguard. He's placing himself right in front of that tier 2 tower. But have a look at Insania. He's trying to see if he could bait out any sort of movements there. If DM tries to get the retreat, 3 points in Glimpse could be enough to be able to catch him out. Might even be satisfied enough to soak up a lot of this experience on the top side, so they're ready with the Static Storm. I mean, how much does that tell you about the mindset of GPK? Just standing there, allowing the death to come to him, not even turning around and trying to get a little bit of damage done in the meantime.
Shows that he's mode farm.
The faster he dies, the faster he can get back to farming, I suppose.
Faster you get that Midas, baby. Let's go.
It's here. The moment we've all been waiting for, but he would not be happy with his net worth as things currently sit. I mean, we've been talking about how he is the true win condition, but win conditions aren't 5th on net worth a lot of the time.
Not at all, but I do think regardless, Virtus.pro, some of their cores have gotten out of the laning phase, and at least GPK has this farming accelerant now.
Next couple of minutes. Aspect as well. You know, we all talk about the Midas being this super passive item. You're able to go back into the jungle, but you're going up against a Beastmaster who's just about finished that Helm of the Dominator. So maybe GPK is going to be a little bit more active than a lot of us are expecting with making those rotations, getting rid of that big Helm Dom creep.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because I think this Helm Dom now being completed from Zai is going to enable them now to think about taking the tier 1 tower. Liquid need to continue the pace. They need to continue finding these objectives because of the tri-core lineup that Virtus.pro have. You can't allow them just to freely farm on opposite sides of the map. And
oh, GPK, he's showing mid, but doesn't seem like that's the one they want. They want Ramses. They want someone away from a lot of these TP points.
Oh, the scam was just too late. Let's see if Ramses is going to be able to tank through the damage, but the Static Storm laid down from Insania. There will be no Phantasm turnaround. As Chakotay, even though he had a point in the shallow grave, which is too far out to the left side, but Virtus.pro, they're trying to connect, they're trying to backstab, as DM's even going to get into the middle, but they will be too late. Yamich won't, however. The hookshot's going to be there to cancel Boxy's TP. He'll make him work for it in the end. And to buy as much space for Liquid to continue farming across the map. Might even deny himself to the tower, so the gold will be split. And that'll be the case.
Well, he's pretty happy with that, though. I mean, he started to drag DM towards that, and if DM's focusing running at his own tier 3 tower, he's not doing the Timbersaw job, right? He's not standing in front of lanes. This DM, he's just making the immediate move back towards top. He's like, all right, they use Static Storm. I've got about 30 or so seconds where I'm not afraid of any TPs coming towards this lane. Back up in 40. It's not the longest cooldown, but you got to make every single moment count, especially when you've got that siege creep still available, and they used the glyph previously on Team Liquid for that push. So I want to see DM perhaps get some assistance come through from the rest of his team, but Mickey with the solo kill.
Sonic Wave was used for that, and now a couple tips as well for good measure. Trying to get into the heads of GPK. They're going to run into Chakotay as well. He denies the rune, but Mickey, well, he'll get the kill, so he's the one that's happier, and Liquid as well will find another tower. Tier 1 mid going down, which is a lot of map control that can protect the jungle of Virtus.pro. Look at the Hawks, look at the vision. Boxy, they're already turning to Ramses. Another shot. Ramses hoping he gets pushed on the outer side, but that's not going to be the case. The turnaround's there with the damage from the Phantasm. They'll kill off the toss. Now DM's going to look to get in the middle as well, as Virtus.pro is showing up to the left side. Oh no! GPK, instant use of the Roar from Zai, stopping the potential for the attribute ship. And now DM, he might have a free fight with some of the abilities used prior, but a glimpse will send him packing. He's still got the chance to continue the hunt. But now through the mid lane, there's not going to be many trees for him to play around. He's going to be relying on the ultimate to try and bring down Xayah, but that will not be enough damage as Liquid. They will stay alive and back off as a unit.
Oh, I don't know if they're ready to back off. They're like, well, DM's feeling a little squishy, might be able to catch out this pick off onto Hakoda, especially considering they've got all of that vision available, and we know how strong the Disruptor pairing is together with any sort of vision, and Beastmaster Hawk, one of the best heroes to be able to pair with that.
Look at how Boxy is playing as well, man. Like, this is, you just compare the carries, the cores. Liquid are freely farming across the map, whereas Virtus.pro, you've got supports running at you. Mid lane Insane, you're trying to catch GPK off guard very close with the Static Storm.
3 in a row would have just been way too much, and he's pinging out the fact that, you know, there might be vision around. Otherwise, that's just some insane individual skill coming through from GPK, and, well, it's the latter. He is still a very, very solid player, but right now he needs some of his boys. He needs the team to rally around him because this is not the start that you are wanting.
I like what they're doing from Virtus.pro there. They're putting DM mid, kind of acting as that blockade to make it very difficult for Liquid to run through this lane and try and get to the cores that are farming behind him. Because his hero is incredibly difficult to kill. And especially when you have supports playing with him as well in the Clock and the Dazzle. As we see
they're
that.
trying to read Liquid's mind right now. They're putting GPK out there as bait. Good blocks coming through.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice by Xayah.
Smoke from Virtus.pro being off the mark, and I guess the cores are farming across the map, but Liquid, they want to take the team fight. Mickey, he's already level 12. He's got 2 points in the ultimate along with the double damage rune in the arsenal. Let's see if they can catch up to DM though. A Q play from Yarmich will enable his escape, and DM as well will also survive. And again, look at this. Ramsey's getting farm. Meanwhile, GPK shoving out top. So the cores are continuing to make it towards their next set of items.
It's all about trying to read Liquid's mind right now. Unfortunately, Hakoda with that smoke ends up blocking the stack inside of the Ancients area for Ramses, but he needed to do it. He needs to try and get this super deep vision out. The Observer Ward got full duration, so he realizes it's a safe place to be able to place that one down. Even inside the Ancients, once they hit some of their timings, perhaps this isn't exactly an area of the map VP have been free to just walk out onto, so just any little bit of information is going to provide them so much. Places where he thinks Liquid are going to be smoking and going for ganks, that's exactly where he wants to get that VP vision down.
Looks like this T2 tower down bottom though is going to go uncontested. No glyph available from Virtus.pro, already used prior, so a 16-minute Tier 2 tower is going to give Liquid complete control of this bottom jungle.
You remember that that video I mentioned, the Liquid video, where they reviewed it?
Mm-hmm. All the towers early on.
Yeah, all the towers early on. This is a carbon copy almost of exactly what happened. And Blitz, I'm going to give him a little bit of a quote. He said, "Huh, you think they wish they didn't pick Morphling this early into the draft? Well, it might be happening once more."
It does still need to be mentioned, though, that VP, like, this net worth lead is not growing. In fact, it's actually slowly being cut. Very, very slowly. And this is a lineup for Virtus.pro with a tricore. If they can make it to the late game, like, this is 15, even, you know, a little bit longer than that. This is where they will really feel their power. But you need to continue doing exactly what you are. Splitting up the map, shoving the side lanes, having supports, block the rotations. Look, I mean, look at Yarmich. Sees Mickey moving top, the Disruptor as well. I don't even know if they saw Yarmich. Cute plays with the Pogo over. They will finally be able to scout him out. They'll go for a TP. That's a very ambitious TP. But again, he's done his job. The cores are farming.
The cause of farming it, that's exactly right what you're saying. It's all about splitting up the map right now, but VP, they know it's coming soon, and they know that Liquid are going to want to get aggressive. They're about 1,000 gold away from being able to pick up Martu's BKB. Still a while away from the Blink Dagger on Boxy. Kyron Sanj almost finished up on Mickey, and I believe the Vlad's at least is completed towards that Helm of the Overlord, where the Midas on the Morphling won't be quite as big of an issue to deal with the Beastmaster dominated creep. So already picking up the Crimson Guard now on DM. Again, physical damage isn't normally the issue for a Timbersaw, but it's about the rest of the team. They need a 5-on-5 fight.
Got a very good ward nearby here from Virtus.pro. A lot of information for them to play with. Dire as well. Great snowball dodge from Boxy. They're going to look to try and target down Ramsey at the moment with a Sonic Wave. Mickey clipping onto 4. Do they have the damage follow-up to be able to bring down some other members of Virtus.pro as Ramses will fall? GPK is going to get looked to get involved as well, but he's unable to right-click anyone as GPK just crumbles under the damage, and Nadim as well will not be able to escape. A chain further in the lane as Yamich needs to put his body on the line to protect his core. A worthwhile sacrifice, so at least DM escaped, but Liquid lose no one.
They lose no one. Lane's in a pretty decent position if they wanted to go top. They might consider going to Roshan, but again, this is a lineup that requires you to push out waves very effectively. You can see they're in two minds about it. Do we push? Do we not? Maybe just the 1 point in tag team with how active Boxy's been with that Ice Shards, leading them to think that this is not necessarily the play, but I think it's the safe play, and I think it's the right one. Oh, actually, they're going to back. They still don't know. This is the high-pressure situation that we keep talking about.
See the replay, a big ultimate. The Sonic Wave, Insania as well, once again somehow finding an angle. We will have to go back live because Virtus.pro are trying to contest this, but Liquid, they're not going to give them an opportunity. They'll just run to Yamich's position, and Nadim's completely isolated. VP is starting to move to the area. Ramses and Yokota finally connecting. But Liquid are just playing with so much vision across the map. The Hawks continuing to be an issue. They know exactly where Radiant are at every stage of this game.
And you've just essentially fed away your Phantasm illusions as well.
Look at the Shard's positioning as well. It's going to try and push Yokota away. The Grave is available, but it's only going to delay the inevitable as Liquid will bring down Ramses, spilling blood into the river.
Yeah, just slowly trickling in, right? You have the clockwork rocket flare to be able to scout out the progress of the Roshan, and they just went in one by one. This was all underneath a Beastmaster Hawk coming through, and, well, eventually the high ground got dewarded by Hakoda, but it was just way too late. You were fighting down. They even had to expend their ultimates previously, not just in that fight, in the fight beforehand, so they're already back up on Liquid. They're ready to go.
The map is just going to continue to shrink. With this Aegis, feels like only a 5,000 net worth lead is plenty with a second life for them to find all these outer towers.
And now Mickey's even just going to take away some of their own farm where they might be feeling safe, but obviously VP with the Roshan going down, with the lane on the top side positioned so aggressively, Matu feels almost immortal here, being able to just continuously shove this in. Open up, allow a Luna just to stay on the Radiant side of the map and keep the pressure up while still farming Ancients.
They see Matu at low. This is a really big play for VP. Multiple heroes on Liquid showed down bottom, but Tomberman doesn't have anyone else nearby. A BKB used on the first life. Zai's going to be able to cover the retreat with the Roar. Matumberman continuing to get some distance away. No way, they don't even kill him. DM's going to try and get the Chakra, but the glimpse back, they won't get him. Matu lives. They'll at least get Zai at the triangle, but Mickey now when the boys have shown up. A Sonic Wave clipping onto 2. Got to be cautious about the Static Storm, and Virtus.pro will split away. The ultimate's going to be off the mark. This is an opening now for VT to look to hit back. They'll bring down Boxy. Matu stuck around as well. DM with the damage required will deal with the Aegis. They'll drag him back into the river as Matumberman will not escape. Finally, Virtus.pro will take a successful skirmish, and they can also get the tier 1 tower.
It was a great instant move from Liquid. I think they even popped the smoke just for the extra movement speed to be able to get back, but when you are able to finally isolate someone on Virtus.pro, this is what Liquid's draft specializes in, right? You could just use the glimpse, you could use the Beastmaster Hawk to be able to do it, but as soon as you show on the other side of the map, you know there's no TPs available, you know there's no way to be able to protect that POS1 Luna, who is such a big part of your pushing force. So great movement coming through there from VP, bringing them back into this game.
Kind of just pushing 101 there. Force heroes to react, move instantly to the other side of the map if the team do not respect how fast you are playing, and catches Liquid off guard. And now this net worth lead in the Aegis completely evaporated. VP, signs of life for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this isn't really the area that Mickey wants to be farming, right? You've taken the bottom side of the map. It's important to take the outpost back for sure, but like I was saying before, Luna wants to be playing on the VP side of the map. You want to keep the pressure up. You want to be using that Beastmaster Hawk, not only just to get the pickoffs, but even if someone TPs back after they're trying to split up the map and defend, you could just glimpse them back. It's happened before. Matu was the one that got glimpsed previously in the middle of a big team fight.
So this is now a really big item here for GPK, and he should have the Scepter delivered before this fight breaks out. I'm intrigued to see if he always uses it on the Luna, because an Agi carry really needs your stats and the attack speed as well. There's also the potential for some other members as well, but I feel like his main priority is going to be Martu if he can get that replicate. This is a big item here to enable Morphling in these fights.
Yeah, just enabling him just to increase the attack speed, denying it away from the Luna, but even you just have to think of the synergy together with the Phantasm as well and the Chaos Knight. If you get that Luna Blessing, if you're in the Luna form, then you're going to be able to give a lot of benefit towards this VP roster.
I mean, they are well and truly back in this game. Even though it's this 3,000 net worth lead, losing that first Roche is really important for Liquid. They needed to find all these outer towers with the lead they had, and now VP, they've got multiple ways to be able to start these fights. You are not completely reliant on Yamich to get an incredible hook shot. It can be up to Ramses, but he won't be here if this fight breaks out.
They spotted that Hawk coming out that's sitting in front of the tier 2 tower bottom, so they're positioning themselves really
Great
well.
Positioning from VP. They're playing behind TM, but the damage might be too much. Yakota can't get close enough. And now Mickey's going to jump in, no hesitation, to try and catch out the remaining members. As VP, they need to TP out, and we'll be able to make it.
Cut their losses, made sure not to feed through anyone else that was unnecessary, and that's just another one of those instances. The shallow grave, just the 2 points in it so far. It really does feel like Liquid, they're wanting to go for these
still
solid...
Here.
Okay.
Goes for a solo kill, the TP, he's going to have to cancel that.
And that's the gem.
No. I think I might have tried to steal the gem over from Insania.
Oh boy. That's a big kill. He didn't use the TP at least, so we'll be able to rejoin the team fight if a buyback is forced, but you do not want to be giving that one up. You're all about scaling into the later stages of the game and just instantly blowing up one unit. You've got the tools to be able to do it. Hook shot into a Cog's back should enable a Chaos Knight, a Tempest, or a Morphling to immediately explode whoever it is that you go on.
Props have to be given to Mickey's performance in this series. We saw what his Painfully was able to do game 1, and now we see what he's doing on the Queen of Pain in a very, very free Queen of Pain as well, I must add. Not a lot that he has to be worried about. 8, 0, and 9, top of the net worth, level 18 as well. And I mean, his impact through the team fights, we've already seen some incredible Sonic waves. He's going to be hunting the Dazzle in particular. You know, could potentially even, if they want to try and blow up some, you know, core hero like DM, you could jump behind the Timber, use the Sonic wave to push him further away from the Dazzle's position. So Hakoda has to be on point this game with where he is.
You could indeed, and even the perfect itemization coming through from him as well, right? Of course, just the Witchblade, Karen Sanch, it's nothing game-breaking, but immediately into the Shivas after that, realizing that you're going up against a Dazzle for heals, a Timber Saw that relies on that regen, a Morphling that's going to have that reduction, and of course, just the attack speed as well against the Chaos Knight. So he's going to enable himself to be a lot tankier in some of these engagements that are about to come. Look to buy it. Doesn't have his courier quite at the secret shop yet, and I'm sure that's what Liquid are waiting for right now. An agonizing 10 or so second wait, but they're going to walk underneath it, yep.
Not the longest range glimpse. Mickey's going to jump up as well, Radiant to have a really good ward nearby. Looks like Liquid want nothing to do with this. With the initiation being slightly off the mark, they will not continue on.
They might look to do it again, though. The lanes are all in relatively decent spots. Ramses has done a good job with keeping that bottom one shoved out. Double creep wave coming into this tier 1 tower, but I'm not sure if it holds an insane amount of value for Liquid just to keep this one up. But Mickey, it's too much net worth just to leave on the map. He'll pick it up, get closer to that level 20.
See if they can try and stall this out. If it's a long row spawn, GPK might have the BKB before that fight. It's about to have the second component completed. Going to be a really big item. Also that level 18, which they actually just give him the tome on GPK, so they recognize how important it is to max out the ulti. But Liquid, yeah, they've been able to catch out Hakoda, but a great 4-star fuse from Yamich. We'll be able to get the Dazzle out to the left side, but Liquid, they're still on the prowl. They've got the nighttime vision and the Hawks as well. Look at Yamich just putting his body on the line. The Cogs in such an awkward position. He'll try and TP, but the cancel will be there thanks to the damage.
But again, the lanes, they're looking fairly good for VP. Top side, all the way pushed in. Mid lane, pushed in at the same time. And GPK, DM, taking back the outpost, trying to get some of these neutral items. And yeah, pushing out bottom lane is the next on their priority list as well. So yeah, VP doing a fantastic job, but again, dodging it out. It's still a 10k net worth lead, don't get me wrong. But the avenues are there for the comeback.
Another rune for Mickey. Got that level 20.
Oh, it's a quick Roche respawn though. Just another 10 seconds away, and GPK, he's still about 1,000 away from being able to pick up that BKB. That could be enormous. Sometimes the Ice Frog, Mr. Lizard, as I like to call him, does smile on teams in certain crucial situations, and this time around it's going to be Liquid. Being able to secure that second Roche, get the Aghanim Shard through. Not sure who they want to give it on. Maybe the dive bomb for the Beastmaster. You've already picked it up on the swap.
Falling too fast. Oh no. The Flair scouted it. They smoked as well instantly, but it's just going down too quick. Second Roche uncontested, and Aegis onto Matu. And the Aghanim Shard currently held by Boxy. I do not believe...
You can give it to Matu very easily too, can't you? You'll give it to Zai. Wants the dive bomb. Don't hate it.
Extra vision. That is really the important thing, and a big advantage that Liquid have been playing with.
Especially with a Disruptor, right?
Yep.
You've got a Lincoln Sphere, sorry, a Lotus Orb already up on DM, but Lincoln's is the big thing that's going to be able to block this next timing that you've got on Liquid's side. Being able to take that tower gives them a little bit more gold, and you've almost got the Blink Dagger on Zai, which means that you'll be able to find that pick off with all that extra vision that you just got from the Aghanim Shard, reduced Hawk cooldown.
If this tower goes down, I don't know if VP can defend it. A Luna with the open barracks is very scary. Have to keep in mind though, if Liquid, if they do not capitalize on the Aegis advantage, then Virtus.pro will have a big window back into this game.
This could be it. This could be Liquid's TI attending fight. You've got the BKB though on GPK. Let's see how he looks to use it. If he could find Insania, that would be huge.
BK is going to try and follow up as well with a jump in with the Sans. Not going to be there thanks to Ramsey's use of the BKB. Matu even trying to chuck his own as well. They're going to commit in the middle, but Yamich cogs the blocker, but the damage follow-up isn't there. They need to wait for the BKB, but the members are falling lower and lower. As a Sonic Wave clipping onto multiple heroes. Ramsey's kept alive for the moment thanks to the use of the Grave, but it will not be enough for him to sustain through the damage. As Virtus.pro, they need to buy back onto multiple members, but they will not be able to catch up as Liquid retreat out of the area, and all they lose is Zai.
All they lose is Zai indeed. 2 buybacks expended, still a kill onto Ramses, and they hold onto that Aegis, so you're going to be able to get into your own Lincoln Sphere soon, and well, just to prevent that quick initiation coming through from Ramses there. Matu incredibly fast on the fingers. It's hard to imagine that this is a guy that said after this TI, I'm about to retire. He's a top 5 player still on the leaderboards, and I mean, the fingers are just as good as when he was back in his prime.
And for him to be able to potentially end his career with a TI performance back on the organization that he won the TI with as well. What an incredible storyline that would be for himself and Liquid with a 15,000 net worth lead. They've still got plenty of time with the Aegis to work with.
They want to be the party poopers though on VP. They're not giving this one up. They've been a little bit known for the early GG. Not this time around. You lose this one, you're out. Going to be giving it all they got, but BKB's now back up. Still plenty of time left on that Aegis. Lincoln Sphere available for Matu means that he could pop the BKB that little bit later.
Ramses will see the attempt. The Hawk scouts out that instant use of the Phantasms. They won't get an angle in. They're just going to retreat on Liquid. They see the replicate soul, but Ramses jump in the middle and instantly the turnaround. A Grave will buy him some time, but Mickey again. A gigantic Sonic Wave is in the middle of the team fight, but a BKB protects him for the moment, and Liquid now have firm control of Virtus.pro's base. They'll drag back Ramses. No buyback here for the Chaos side, and Box is in once again with a double snowball, clipping out DM. They've almost booked their ticket. One more team fight. No buybacks here from Virtus.pro.
Is there going to be another one? There might not be another team fight. This is it. You get a Luna into the base, and you just watch those glaives bounce around back and forth, side to side. Liquid, have they done it?
GG!
They have.
Oh,
they've done it. 2 Western European teams make it through to TI.
Well played, congratulations, and Liquid have done it, and look how much it means to Boxy. Martu will give him a hug as well, but multiple of these members from Liquid, Insania, Boxy, along with Mickey, both missed out on TI-10, and keep in mind, this has been a team that have gone